Sophie Cunningham's basketball journey isn't just the story of an athlete rising through the ranks. It's the portrait of a fiery, magnetic force of nature who refuses to dim her light for anyone. From her early days in Columbia, Missouri, to her battles in the WNBA with the Phoenix Mercury, Cunningham's path has been marked by authenticity, energy, and a relentless competitive spirit that defines who she is both on and off the court. She is one of those rare players who doesn't just play the game. She lives it, breathes it, and embodies everything it represents: resilience, emotion, and the will to win. Growing up in a family of athletes, Sophie's competitive fire was ignited early. Her parents, Jim and Paula Cunningham, instilled in her the values of hard work and perseverance. Her older sister, Lindsey, was also a basketball player, and the sibling rivalry that developed between them became one of Sophie's earliest lessons in toughness. Those backyard battles weren't just about who scored the most. They were about pride, grit, and proving that she belonged. It was in those moments that Sophie learned one of the most important lessons of her life: never back down. She took that lesson with her everywhere, from the local courts of Columbia to the biggest arenas in college and professional basketball. At Rockbridge High School, Sophie became a hometown legend. She was the player who could change the entire atmosphere of a game with a single play. Her energy was infectious, her confidence unshakable, and her love for the game impossible to ignore. She led Rockbridge to multiple state championships, solidifying her reputation as one of the fiercest competitors Missouri had ever seen. What set her apart even then was not just her talent, but her charisma, the way she celebrated every bucket, the way she hyped up her teammates, and the way she connected with fans. There was something magnetic about her. You didn't just watch Sophie play, you felt it. When she committed to the University of Missouri, it wasn't just a basketball decision. It was a homecoming. She chose to stay close to her roots, representing the community that raised her. At Mizzou, she became the face of the program, not only because of her skills, but because of the intensity and emotion she brought to every single game. Over her college career, Sophie averaged impressive numbers, but her stats only tell half the story. The real story is how she transformed the culture around her. She turned Missouri into a program defined by its toughness and togetherness. When she was on the court, fans could feel her presence from the stands. Her smile, her confidence, her trash talk, it all became part of the show. She was theatrical, but not fake. She was loud, but not arrogant. Every emotion she showed came from a place of pure passion for the game. By the time she left Mizzou, Sophie was one of the most decorated players in school history. She finished as the Tigers' all-time leading scorer, leaving behind a legacy of grit, leadership, and undeniable influence. But for all her collegiate success, her transition to the WNBA wasn't guaranteed to be smooth. The league is filled with the best players in the world, and many rookies struggle to adjust. Yet, true to form, Sophie saw it not as an obstacle, but as another challenge to meet head-on. When she was drafted by the Phoenix Mercury in 2019, she entered a team stacked with veterans and legends: Diana Taurasi, Brittany Griner, and Skylar Diggins-Smith, to name a few. These were players who had already solidified their place in basketball history. For a newcomer like Sophie, finding her role meant understanding how to bring value beyond the obvious. She knew she wasn't going to be the leading scorer, but she also knew she could change the energy of a game with her hustle, her defense, and her voice. That's exactly what she did. Cunningham quickly earned a reputation as one of the Mercury's emotional anchors. When the team needed energy, she provided it. When they needed toughness, she supplied it. She became the player who dove for loose balls, who clapped in opponents' faces, who hit a big three-pointer when the game was on the line, and who brought the crowd to life with her passion. Over time, she developed a strong connection with Phoenix fans, not just because of her play, but because of her authenticity. She didn't pretend to be anyone else. Whether she was fired up after a big play or joking around with teammates on the bench, what people saw was exactly who she was: real, raw, and unapologetically herself. Her growth as a player was equally impressive. Every season, Sophie refined her game, improving her shooting, her decision-making, and her leadership. Her three-point shot became a deadly weapon, and her defense evolved into one of her most underrated strengths. She wasn't just a spark anymore. She was becoming a complete player. In many ways, Sophie represented what every great team needs: the emotional glue that holds everything together. But beyond basketball, Cunningham has also become a symbol of something larger: authenticity in women's sports. In an era when female athletes are often scrutinized for their expressions, emotions, or confidence, Sophie stands as a reminder that it's okay to play with fire. She refuses to apologize for caring too much or celebrating too loudly. Her joy for the game is as fierce as her competitiveness, and she embraces both fully. This duality, the balance between joy and toughness, has made her one of the most relatable and beloved figures in the WNBA. Outside of her professional career, Sophie's personality shines through on social media and in interviews. She's funny, honest, and approachable, traits that make her easy to root for. Fans feel connected to her not just because of her performance on the court, but because of who she is off it. She's the player who will joke with you one minute and go to battle for her teammates the next. That kind of authenticity is rare, and it's what makes her story resonate beyond basketball. Internationally, Sophie has represented Team USA, adding another layer of experience to her career. Competing against the best players in the world has only fueled her growth, and it's evident that she's still just scratching the surface of her potential. Her game continues to mature, her leadership continues to strengthen, and her influence continues to expand. As her career progresses, Sophie Cunningham's legacy is becoming clearer. She's more than just a player, she's a culture setter. She embodies everything fans love about basketball: intensity, charisma, resilience, and connection. She plays for the love of the game, and that love radiates through every motion she makes on the court. When fans look back years from now, Sophie's name will be remembered not only for her stats or her shooting percentages, but for the energy she brought to every arena she entered. She's the player who made basketball feel alive, the one who reminded us that sports are supposed to be emotional, unpredictable, and full of spirit. She's proof that you don't need to be the tallest or the flashiest to leave a lasting impact. You just need to play with heart. And that's exactly what Sophie Cunningham has done every step of the way. Her story is still unfolding, but if her past is any indication, the best is yet to come. As long as there's a court, a crowd, and a game on the line, Sophie will be there, fighting, smiling, and proving once again that being yourself is the most powerful move of all. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this long-form tribute to Sophie Cunningham's fiery and authentic basketball journey, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more stories celebrating the athletes who play with heart, passion, and unapologetic energy.